Wakizashi's Teahouse. Hey, konnichiwa, minasan. It's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse. Is it? Maybe? I think so. I'm here. I made it. I can't believe it. Look at all these comments. Great to see Nosferatu in the chat. Daniel in the chat as well. How are you doing? Oh, mate, I've got a story to tell. But before I get onto that, let me change my background. Oh, I've been so looking forward to this, but I've learned a very good lesson about my computer and VRAM and a lack of VRAM, which means that I can play the game on its own, it's fine, but I can't play the game and stream at the same time because, oh my god, my VRAM, it's like, this is really embarrassing, I didn't know this. It's like 512 megabytes, so it's like, fuck. So when I try and stream and game at the same time, it just goes up to like 95% and the game starts spazzing out and going stupid. So that's why I'm so looking forward to getting back into gaming, but I will be doing game streams in the future. All I've got to do is upgrade my RAM, my graphics card, of course. I think that's the only way. But I do have some game footage I was recording earlier. I've got some ready. I've got a nice bit of Street Fighter Alpha 3 where it's very beginner. I'm back to gaming for like first time in, I mean seriously, how long is it? It's more than 20 years. You know, I'm from the end of the SNES, the Nintendo 64, and what was after that? Now that was it really for me. I know PlayStation 1, of course, how can I forget? So I had a SNES, I had a PS1, and I had an N64. And then I kind of got out of gaming, moved to Japan, like one of the gaming capitals of the world, and didn't game anymore. So embarrassed. Okay, let's see who's there. Hey Daniel, nice to see you. Yeah, good question, mate. Did you like the new intro, Nos? Yeah, I've worked on that this morning. I thought I'm going to get a gamey based intro, and you know that was showing some of the games that I used to play growing up like teenagers. But yeah, let me tell you, it was built into the computer I got, and I didn't get a very expensive computer. Where are we? But it's basically, what is it? It's Radeon. It's a really basic Radeon graphics card, which is built into the ASUS computer I've got. I thought it might be good because I can play, you know, basic games on Steam. But when I tried to do this and live stream, I was like, oh no. I was testing it out this morning, and it kind of half worked a couple of times, but then it just started going like freeze. I was like, oh no. And then I found out how to check the CPU, how much it was using, and everything else was okay. Just the graphics, the is it VREX? It sounds like a dinosaur. That was just like 95%, so it was almost maximum. Hey Salty, how you doing? So that's the story. That's my crazy story. So while I keep talking, I'm going to play a little bit of footage I was playing before. Now, to set the scene, I am not new to gaming, but I'm coming back after a long break. So I really am pretty crap. I've not been gaming in ages. Look at this. I've got myself a really basic controller. It's got a horrible red light when you turn it on, which I can't turn off. Roxanne. Turn off the red light. Yeah, so there we go. And I was having a great time. I've been playing Street Fighter 3 Alpha. I grew up with Street Fighter 2 on the SNES, which was awesome at the time. So Street Fighter 3, you know, it's basic, it's a bit blocky, but it was running fine. But I just can't live stream in games. So the moral of this story is, Gray, learn about your fucking computer. You know, learn how much power it's got or doesn't have. Where are we? So Nosferatu's here, Salty's here. What's Nosferatu saying? Gray, you know you were playing Pong as a kid. I'm not quite that old, although I had a friend who had an Atari. What was it called? The old Atari console. And he had the E.T. game, which was famous for being one of the worst games ever made. One of the like highly anticipated, biggest selling, crappiest games ever. There's a whole story about that for another time. Oh my God, Zax is here. What's going on? Amazing. I thought no one was going to be watching because I know it's late. It's 1:25 in the afternoon here on, what day is it now? Tuesday in Japan. So I know it's late night in the States. Man, I'm so disappointed. I was really looking forward to it. But without further ado, let me show a little bit of the game footage. Now, if the audio's too loud on this, let me know because I can turn it down and adjust it. Let's see. So this was me playing a little bit before. I started off okay, then I got my ass kicked by a sexy Japanese, well, a blocky, retro, sexy Japanese kick-ass fighter. Here we go. There we go. So is that coming through okay? Let me check. Seems to be. I've made the own soundtrack to this as well using YouTube audio library for like free music, because I forgot to mute my mic when I was recording the gameplay, so all you can hear is me. It's me like, you know, shit, bang, crash, bang, hitting the table and stuff, so I had to mute the audio. Coming at you live on hotel Wi-Fi, so slightly delayed, says Zax. Okay, mate, well, thanks for joining in. How does it sound? Is it okay? Is it too loud? Is it alright? Can adjust it a little bit here. Turn it down a little bit there. There we go. Can you hear me okay? I'm going to harass Gray until we get Blade Runner Part 3. I was planning that, Nosferatu. I was there. I was having it for this weekend, well, for Monday, but, you know, that crazy huge fire kicked in and it blew all my plans. So, and by the way, I'm not a real firefighter. I'm a volunteer firefighter. I only have to go out to the neighbourhood fires. This one was a little bit beyond the, what do you call it, the borderline, but it was a big one. So that's why they asked us to go. It started off in a car. It was a car fire which spread to the carport, then the house next door to it, and then the apartment block behind that. Sounds bigger than it was. It wasn't that big, but man, it was crazy. And it took about 4 hours to put it out completely. Madness. This might actually be good because Gray can comment on his own gameplay. That's kind of hard to do while playing. Yeah, I say I'm coming back to it for years away, so I was kind of hitting a lot of buttons. I was trying to do some combos, trying to do a bit of blocking. Not sure. Nosferatu said he's been playing some classics lately too. So can you hear me okay? You can hear my voice over this, over the audio. Nice one. Turn it up a little bit. There we go. This is really cool, says Max. Great idea, Gray. This is an original, an original idea by me. I'm trademarking it. No one's ever done this before. Retro gaming with not retro gaming. Recording yourself retro gaming because you can't stream and game at the same time because your computer sucks. There we go. Good mic versus game balance. Thanks, Daniel. That's cool. Shall we have a dance party, Zax? Yeah. Now, as I say, please enlighten me in the chat because I've come back to this for years away. Blanca, isn't it? It's Blanca versus Ryu. Now, I always choose Ryu because I think he's cool. I managed to win. Is that the first round or second? I won. Like I was trying to do it, you know, without just banging all the buttons. Yeah, right. But I was trying to do combos, a bit of blocking. I can't do the special moves. Whenever I hit a special move, it's purely accidental, right? Do you know what I mean? Our music's a bit loud. Okay, Nosferatu, thanks. There we go. Is that better? Hit that like button, says Salty. Thanks, Salty. Who's making the jungle juice? What does it mean? And Daniel saying it's so retro that his retro graphics card can't handle streaming and gaming at the same time. Thanks, mate. Yeah, that is the truth. So I say I knew I've got a low level graphics card. I knew it wasn't great, but I didn't know how crap it was. I found out it's only 512. I'm looking to get an expansion, but we're talking, they start off about $200 and go up to, you know, crazy money. But I reckon if I just get a 4 megabyte one, that should be fine. Because it was almost okay with this 512 megabytes. It almost had it. You know, you've got StreamYard and you've got the game running at the same time. And I lowered all my, settings. I had it like pretty basic, as basic as I could make it, but still wasn't doing it. Daniel, riding dirty with the Commodore 64. Salty, I used to have one. Do you know what? My first computer was a VIC-20. Then I graduated to a Commodore 64. So, yeah, how crazy is that? And then it was years before I had a Commodore Amiga, remember those? And then eventually I got a SNES, Super Famicom. I'm hooking up my ColecoVision and doing ecstasy to the beats. That's Nosferatu. Oh, Jesus, mate, what are you like? Salty had a VIC-20 cassette drive. I think we briefly talked about this before, haven't we? Yeah, you had to load it up on a cassette and it took like 2 weeks to load. And you were delighted if you got like a graphic screen, you know, a single screen when it was loading. Oh, I used to love it. With the Commodore, you actually got a little bit of, tiny bit of animation or sound when it was loading, I think. There was game brands like US Gold, remember them? In the UK we had a cheap one called Mastertronics, which was awesome. They put out really cheap cassette games for like £2, £1, £2, you know, about $2 or $3, and very basic but just superb. Oh, there we go, got some more music. Come on, Gray, you should be beating this guy. He was pretty hard. This is Dan. Daniel, is this you? This is your ponytailed retro gaming character. Yeah, he was quite hard. He nearly had me a couple of times. Just saying. So, okay. Again, let me know about the sound. I'm not listening to it live, so I'm going to drop it a little bit more. Is that okay? Is that coming through all right? Seems to be. This track's louder, so that's why. Sounds a bit like ABBA's going to kick in. The VIC-20 games still look better than Last of Us Part 2. Okay, here she is. This is Sakura. Mate, Sakura kicks my ass. Check this out. She's unbelievable. Okay, thanks, Daniel. The sound is good. Okay, it's gone quiet again, so. She was brilliant. I only managed to get a couple of kicks in the first time, and yeah, I was worried about the time. I just got this done and uploaded, edited before I went live. But that's why I was giddy. It was like 10 seconds before I went live and finished it. Back in my day, video games were farming crops so we wouldn't starve. What the fuck? You're crazy, man. You're crazy. Oh, no. It's nearly at an end now, guys. But yeah, this is I'm running it. I've got Steam, you know, on the computer, and it's a Capcom retro arcade game. Let's pause it a minute while I keep talking. Oh, nice pause. Look at that. Actually landed a kick. Very rare. Daniel's saying, once Sakura came out, it was tough for me to choose between her and Chun-Li. Chun-Li! I always love playing the girl characters because their skirts fly up. Daniel, you're a man after my own heart. That's it, isn't it? That's why I used to play them. As games have got more and more powerful, you know, I know this is very retro, but I wanted to go retro. You've got the boob wobble now, the realistic boob wobble, which is unbelievable. The unrealistic boob wobble. I have to save that for not a live stream, for a late night naughty chat with Salty and Zax again. Down those legs know how to kick, says Max. Let's see if I can show. Why isn't that's not showing the comments properly, is it? Is that coming through, guys, on the screen? The comments are slightly, on my end the comments are blocked out. Okay, no, it looks all right. There we go. Let's see if I can pause it at another place. There she goes. See if we can get some upskirt action. Look, guys, look what you're turning me into. Now she just basically kicks my ass. Oh, that's a good one. There's a good pause. Okay, good night, Salty. Thanks for dropping in. I know say it's late for you guys. I appreciate it. Take it easy. Lightweight. Those legs were half the joy of the game, says Daniel. Exactly. I know exactly what you mean. Let's just go a little bit further. Here we go. Let's try and get another pause. Whee! Oh, look at that. It's all gone white. Oh, my God. Whiting out the Asian characters. Oh, there we go. A slight hint of pants there. Panties. Later, dude, says Max. And yes, Nosferatu. We all know Tifa from Final Fantasy VII has the best polygon rack of all time. My good friend Nosferatu has been educating me in the, the polygon rackness of games, shall we just say. So, I tell you what, some of the Final Fantasy games are unbelievable now, aren't they? You know, I know nothing compared to this. This is very, very basic, but I went back in time. I wanted to go retro. Yeah. Night Salty, says Zax. Zax is still here. I can't believe it. Tell you guys, if this is a last minute thing where I was hoping to play games, but I can't. If you fancy coming on, I will drop the link. Just give me 2 ticks. You're welcome. We can just shoot the shit about games. Where are we? Let's drop it in the chat. There's a link, so you're welcome to pop in. But no, like, no, what's the word? No pressure. No pressure. No pressure to join. Need to put my headphones back on. But yeah, I'm going to get this sorted, and can you let me know as well, guys, in the chat? Like, as I say, I am Gen X, I'm not boomer, but I'm a boomer when it comes to gaming, and I don't know how to share and, like, you know, run things at the same time. But if you can let me know, is it easier to, say, get a PlayStation, not a new one, I'm thinking about getting a PS3, you know, used, get it cheap. If I plug that in to the monitor and then I can share screen, maybe that'll work. You know, if it's not running through the CPU, basically. And by the way, the CPU is fine. It's just the graphics card, which is a very basic one, which I've now found out about. So as I say, I can play these games no problem, you know, without StreamYard. But anyway, but I know I won't be able to play anything kind of high level. Okay, Zach's is still travelling. Yeah, just for vacation. And Nosferatu is saying, Grady's to play Deus Ex, never know how to pronounce that, to become fully red-pilled. I'm too scared, Nos. I'm too scared to play that. Where are we? I need to change my background as well. There we go. Where's the Capcom one? That's better. How's that? Oh, that looks better, doesn't it? And while we're waiting 1 second, time for a video clip. I'll take this one out, remove that. Oh my God, I'm huge! Let's have something funny. Where are we? This was my reaction when I did the test, yeah, the live stream test with gaming at the same time, and it went all Pete Tong, it went all wrong. This is what I did. No! What can you do? What can you do? Okay, let's get back to the comments. Nosferatu is saying the PS3 has a way better catalogue than PS4. You can buy PS1 and PS2 games. Okay, so it's multi-compatible, is that right? Brilliant. No worries, Zax, I know you can't jump on. I'm not very up on console games or systems. Been a PC guy for a long time. Daniel, so what do you recommend? Like, as I say, I don't need that much extra, you know, RAM. I just need a couple of megabytes, maybe 2 or 3, 4 gigs. But as I say, the cheapest ones are like, in Japanese yen, it's about 20,000, so it works out maybe $160, $170, something like that. We'll have to see. You know, so it might work out cheaper to get a used PlayStation and do it that way. So, where was I? I wanted to share a bit of my gaming history with you guys. As you saw in the intro, let's see if I can find some of these pictures. Just give me 2 ticks. Here we go. I was preparing that new countdown introduction with some of the games I've played in my time. Where are we? So it didn't really all start with Mario Kart, but that's the one that kind of really got me big time. Mario Kart is the one that blew my mind. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can do this and share a picture. Here we go. I know what I'm doing. I do, really. There we go. Is that working now? Yes. Super Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo and system, mate. I know it's basic and it's years ago, but that was the one where I got into the 2-player mode with friends, and it just opened up a whole new world. There was Super Mario Kart on the SNES, and there was Tekken. Do you remember the old beat 'em up Tekken on the PlayStation 1? And then later on, Street Fighter 2, the original Street Fighter 2 on the SNES. Wow, they were so cool. They look kind of retro now, but I'll even go back and watch YouTube videos on them, you know, reminding you of the old days and all that stuff. I see Nerdporeal, he does some streams sometimes doing Mario, which is great to see. Donkey Kong Country was another one. Nosferatu, yeah. That was, the graphics on that, they took it to like another level for the SNES, you know, were they 8-bit, by the way? Were they 8? They weren't 16, were they? So I'm not that much of a geeky gamer, as you know. So I think it was 8-bit, wasn't it, the SNES? And the Mega Drive, no? And then you had the PlayStation 1, the N64 and the Saturn, is that right? Were they 16 or 32? Jesus, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, Mario Kart I thought was so cool. Let's get back to the photos. Can I go to the next one? So look at those graphics. Guys, come on, I know, you know. Did you play Mario Kart? I know this could be before your time. I keep forgetting I'm like 49, so yeah. And then when it came out on the Nintendo 64, you could do a 4-player option. And the racing option was good, but the battle game was great on that. The battle game was hilarious. Let's see. Daniel says, I remember Tekken. Tekken, yes. Let's see if I can find it. Let me just scroll through. So that's Mario Karts. Oh, it's a bit small. Tekken. That was a PlayStation 1. There's the cover for it. Remember that, guys? Nosferatu? No? And that was the graphics on Tekken 1. Check it out. What do you reckon? I used that in the introduction. Final round. Nosferatu, did you play Smash Brothers? I didn't have it. A friend had it. I used to play it at his house, but no, I never got it. I just used to lose my mind or time playing Super Mario 64 and GoldenEye. Guys, GoldenEye! Come on, that was an amazing game. Zax is saying, Tekken 3. So you remember Tekken 3? Yeah. Nosferatu, Tekken 2 and 3 was my shit. Yeah. I think I got it. I got 2 later on, but I never got round to 3. And Nosferatu is saying he'd pour countless tokens into those Tekken arcade cabinets. God, mate, I remember those. Daniel, you remember now the Saturn, the Sega Saturn. Yeah, there's a big, not a war, but it was mainly between the, was it the PlayStation and the N64, wasn't it? And then the Saturn was kind of there as well. I don't know, I think in Japan it used to be between Sega and Nintendo, and then, Sony. We say Sony, but they say Sony. Sony came in and they just kicked everyone's ass, didn't they? The PlayStation was amazing. Just got better and better. So no, Nosferatu, I didn't have a Mega Drive. I had a SNES, SNES. Super Famicom. Don't you love that? The Japanese version of it. The original NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, was called a Famicom. And then the SNES was a Super Famicom. Famicom, as you can imagine, is short for Family Computer. Super Famicom. I'm close to your age. Okay, Daniel. I'm still the oldest here. That means I'm, you got to call me Senpai, okay? Or Aniki, not Anakin. Ask Nosferatu about that. We're getting closer to the Dreamcast conversation. Oh, shit. I forgot about the Dreamcast, Dax. Nice one. Nice one for triggering the old memory. That was that the one that came out to, where were we? To rival the N64. I think I'm getting me console generations mixed up. As Nosferatu saying, oh my god, the nostalgia. Tell me about it. What else have we got here? Tiny GoldenEye. There's some of the graphics with GoldenEye. So good. How amazing was it, GoldenEye? The gameplay, yeah, it might not be the best looking graphics, but the gameplay was unbelievable. This changed, I think it changed a lot of people's opinion about the Nintendo 64 because the Nintendo was playing catch up, especially in the UK, where I'm from. It came out really late. We had the PAL TV system over there, so every game had to be converted to that, and it was more expensive. We had to wait like 6 months usually for a game. It came out in Japan. Then I think you guys in America got it, and then it came to the UK. The poor Brits got it last. So those Tekken graphics, even back then, they were blocky. You didn't mind it when they were moving though, did you, Daniel? I know when you see them now. Look at the GoldenEye ones. They don't actually look too bad, do they? What got me about the game was they put like people's faces on. And I think you could you put your own face on it? I can't remember. And when they brought in some of the villains, you could unlock villains from the Bond movies, couldn't you? Like Kananga, Dr. Kananga, and oh my god, all the names I've forgotten. The man with the golden gun, maybe. GoldenEye's still a blast to play. Yes, it is. Okay, Daniel was a Sega Genesis kid. Nice one. So it was the Mega Drive, the Genesis, and then the Dreamcast. Is that right? Wow. It's all coming back to me. Nosferatu's asking, did you play Pitfall on the SNES? I didn't have it on the SNES. No, I had it. I think I had it on my Commodore 64, or maybe on the Amiga, Commodore Amiga. Now I'm going back years. I'm talking back in the Industrial Revolution age when I was a child, when the whole world was in black and white or sepia toned. It's a fact. True story. Senpai, says Max. Hi, Senpai. Dreamcast was just before the PS2. Oh, okay, nice one, Zax. Nice one. Okay, yeah. Great, we have a guest coming in. Wearing headphones. Oh, Daniel, thanks, mate. Daniel enters the game. The chat.
Hey there. I got even older school. Intellivision. Do you remember Intellivision? That was it was a cheaper competitor to Atari. And so it was a crappier Atari.
Oh, God. Yeah. Do you remember what was the Atari called? The basic console? Was it just the Atari, something like... It had a number, didn't it? Was it like
yeah. It was Atari...
Oh, God. I can't remember.
I want to say 64 because I keep thinking of the N64, I think it was, right?
Yeah. I'll look it up quickly. I think it's something like... It's got 1,000 number, isn't it? Like a 3600 or something crazy. Atari console. Let's see. Daniel, the 2600. There we go.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm going to share the screen instead with 2 ticks. Where are we? Stop sharing that one. I was so disappointed, Daniel, when I did the test. It's like, holy crap, my graphics card is shit, and I can't stream and play at the same time. Oh mate, I was gutted. What could you do? Here's the Atari console. There we go, guys. Can you see that? Wow. That one takes you back. I didn't have one, but I had a friend, and he had E.T., and it was terrible.
E.T. was a horrible game. I remember playing that at my friend's multiple times and struggling with the damn remote or the controller. And the angles you could take were horrible. Like they weren't like natural. And I think the pixel would move like up a square like incorrectly, so like it was just a terrible game. And I remember his head moved up and down. It was a weird game too. Like didn't you have to like find things on different levels, and there were different types of gameplay modes?
I've seen a sort of documentary about it, and he was saying like the guy who had to develop it, he was given some ridiculous, really short time. He's like, there's no way I could bring out a decent game. So, and they released it. They released this like crappy unfinished game or half-finished game.
Well, that makes complete sense because, like, I remember the screen being blank a lot of the time. There'd be just dead space, and then an object in the corner. Horrible game. So I'm trying to look up Intellivision. There was a game that came with it that just really summed up the entire system, and it was called Triple Action, and it's a tank warfare, biplane, and car race all in one cartridge. So you can choose whichever mode you wanted to play. And
Intellivision, here we go. Let's see what comes up. Zaxum just mentioned it in the chat as well. Is that the one, Daniel? Yeah, I think I've seen this in American comics, older comics, advertisements. I've never had it. I don't know if you got it in the UK.
It was. Yeah, look at those. Okay, so look at those controllers. Pull up one of the pictures. I don't know if anyone else ever had one of these things. My dad got this, and he was always getting the off-market brand of everything. So everything we always had was never, whatever was the actual brand, we always got the off-market brand. So that was like Intellivision. Those controllers, you would slide the little plastic, like cover over, and it was just like a phone. Like it's like a 1 through 9.
No
1
way.
through 10. Yeah, you see if
there's a picture there with different ones like NFL football and something else. So you put those over the top.
You put them over the top. If you click on the other one there that doesn't have the little covers, you can see, you can see that it's like a little phone.
No way.
The circular disc actually moved as a circle. So you could slide your finger around and have 360 degrees of control. So it was it was a paddle. Instead of a joystick and having left, right, up, down, you had 360 degree. But actually turned out to be horrible because in the games you didn't have the fine control you needed, so you just crash into things.
Some of the graphics here, Does this take you back? Yeah, this just does look like Atari style, doesn't it? The Atari 2600.
Totally Atari style. I'll put a little link into what the triple action game is, and
thank you. I've just seen that.
A couple little pictures, but I used to play the heck out of this thing, and everything you had to use your imagination, just like with that stupid number pad, Zax. It was terrible, and not only that, but the sensitivity of the buttons would like fail after a while, so you'd have to really jam down and squeeze to get the action you wanted.
No way.
It was terrible. I mean, I loved it because you were struggling with the game. You wanted to play because it was still fun, but you're also struggling to like you're fighting the controller.
Got Nosferatu saying E.T. legend of it being buried. That's right, they made a huge landfill, didn't they, I think, with the unsold copies of it. Turned out to be true. Man. A lot of cocaine went into that E.T. game, says Zax. Oh, mate, you know what? The PS2 original Xbox era had so many hidden gems. They had a Godfather game, Scarface, and Jaws.
Oh, Jaws. Yeah, Jaws was a cool game. It had a cool music to it.
Look at that. The graphics there, Daniel, just before I stopped sharing it. Major League Baseball in television. The best sports video games, 1980. Oh, God. But it was enough back then, wasn't it? It was totally enough for us.
It was totally enough. In fact, it was almost better because you had to fill in all the blanks with your own imagination. Yeah. And almost all the games were multiplayer. Everything was really two-player because that was kind of the point. Like from Pong, the whole point was really to play against someone else.
Yeah.
You didn't have a lot of against the computer kind of stuff. It was usually against another person, which made the systems more of a fun party kind of thing.
So did you grow up more with, once you went past that console, was it more computer-based games rather than console games?
Well, after Intellivision was Genesis and Sega and playing all those kind of games. And then
right, okay.
Metroid
so you did have consoles, yeah.
Yeah, I did have the console, and I remember Metal Gear. Gosh, that was probably, for most of us, Metal Gear had to be... Isn't that all of us cut our teeth really on Metal Gear? It's like the first RPG, like really in-depth game you dive into, and it became like your life.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Metal Gear was cool. Do you remember the first Resident Evil on PlayStation?
Yes, that was a huge game.
That was huge in the UK as well. Yeah, it was massive everywhere, wasn't it? That kind of changed things.
The other one is, what's the show that they're doing now that they horribly destroyed? The haunted house with the zombies. I don't know, I'm drawing a blank. Stream Brain, as you're always calling it.
I know. I
Resident
get it all
Evil. The time. The first Resident Evil was so cool and immersive and scary. After that though, and then I went on to computer games, and then I started doing like RTS, and I talked about like with Zax, Total War, things like that. I started playing a lot of either first-person games like Counter-Strike and tactical games, strategy games, 4X games. I've been playing games. I still play games. So I'm huge into playing games.
Good. I dropped out for years, Daniel. I've been lost from games for years because I knew that if I got into it here, that'd be it. I'd never get anything else done. I'd just be gaming all the time.
You're in game nirvana. I mean, you're in Japan. It's like, I can't think of a better place to be. They must have things going on constantly that are interesting, like game events and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think so. Of course, where I am, it's a tiny, small town. So if you were somewhere big, Osaka, Tokyo, I'm sure there's all sorts going on. But they still have arcades here, gaming arcades. You can go in, and play. I don't know. Do you still have them in the States? The old style where you put money in and like you play the latest like Capcom or whatever arcades.
So there has been a reemergence of arcade games for the past, I would say for the past 20 years, 15, 20 years or so, arcades basically died. And they were there in the 90s. They died. I mean, the other guys probably can verify the timeline. And then about 5 years ago, bars started putting arcade games back in as a nostalgia but not as like to convert the entire bar into an arcade, but more of to bring in Gen Xers to hang out at the bar. And some bars will even have the games are free, and it's just come to the bar, play whatever you want, and get a drink. And so it's just it's a way to make your bar hip.
Yeah.
And then there's some places that have brought in arcade games and put in like a buy a pass kind of system, and then they want to also make it a cool place to go. And then there's always been the Dave and Buster's kind of places, which are adult entertainment centers that have arcade games and serve drinks and stuff. And those have never gone away, but that's more of a niche kind of thing. It's like instead of going to a bowling alley, you know.
Right.
But it's still the basic arcade just was a thing that was missing for, I don't know, I'd say good 2 decades. So it sounds like Japan still has just regular arcades that have new games that they're developing. Yeah,
of course, like you're saying, they're not as prevalent as they used to be. And we had the same thing in the UK. You know, we used to have arcades, but they kind of died off. So I reckon the same things probably happened. It's a good idea, though, isn't it? Bringing it into a bar or a cafe somewhere. You know, playing on the old nostalgia card as well, which is very popular now.
Yeah, because kids have no interest.
No.
Yeah, they're not going to go near an arcade game.
Kids. In the chat, Daniel, they're saying Nosferatu and Zach's talking about. Do you remember the Resident Evil spin-off, Dino Crisis?
Yes!
The dinosaur one. Yeah, I do remember that. I didn't have it, but I played it on a friend's. Oh man, Dino Crisis. God, that takes me back as well.
Oh, Nosferatu mentioned Madden games. Yeah, NHL. God, those were so good. There was an awesome arcade game I used to love that was it was called Robo Football or something. It was football with robots and a metal
sounds awesome.
American football. It was kind of like rugby / football with robots, and it was an arcade game, and the robots of course would like destroy each other.
Wow, I like the look of those different costumes for the main character there, Dino Crisis. We got the spy type, the battle type, army type, and primitive type. Which is your favourite? Ooh.
Army type?
Yeah, the army type's pretty cool.
It shows midriff.
Yes. Oh, mate, there's something about that, isn't there? Just a little like shot of midriff.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
This is why Japan is king. They still understand what guys want to see when they're playing a game.
Thank God, yeah.
Yeah.
It is starting to creep in over here too. You know, you can't show that kind of thing. You can't do that. But I think they're fighting it off for the main part. The Japanese are like, no, we're still going to do it.
I heard your new prime minister, like the day he won, was posting like his favorite anime and video games or something. like he was tweeting about his favorite. If I remember right. So it's like he was totally on board with protecting Japan's culture of, you know, video games.
Yes, that's good.
Anime, which is, that's what you want. It's basically saying, no, we're not changing.
Maybe he's trying to stay like, I'm down with the kids as well kind of thing. You know, I watch anime as well. Could be that to it.
I find what Nosferatu is saying to be... true.
Get down here. Japanese and British men are some of the horniest dudes on the planet. Gray can't contain his inner beast. I can. I can contain it. I have to. Unfortunately. Tell you, man, if I was here 20 years ago, if I was single in Japan, whew.
Now,
that'd be dangerous, wouldn't it?
You need to do like you've already been on Purple's show and gotten kind of a Purple interview, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah, I got her to come on mine. That's right.
But have you been on hers where she's interviewed you?
No, not yet.
See, that questions like this are great because I've always heard that in Japan that if you're a Westerner, you're not going to get like just great treatment automatically. Like you can kind of be alienated a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Not as much as it used to be, maybe say 20, 30 years ago. You know, there was definite, bias and A little bit of racism, but not with everybody. It's like anywhere, Daniel. You know, you get the kind of nationalists in Japan too, as you get in the UK or whatever.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's a lot of guys who have this idea that if they just showed up in Japan and walked down the street, it would just be like the smorgasbord in front of them of cute Japanese girls that they could just have their pick of.
We call it gaijin magic over here. It's like, if you got a guy, Gray's been using his gaijin magic. Doesn't always work, and it doesn't anymore because I'm old, but anyway, I think it used to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at this for Zach. Cyber Stadium Base Wars. Here's a deep dive. Cyber Stadium Base Wars. But I'll tell you what, Daniel, the art of dating in Japan has kind of died, or is dying. It's quite sad to see.
That's sad to hear.
That's why the population's in steep decline, supposedly.
Oh, wow.
We've got a very old population, a very aged population at the moment.
That sounds like here. I don't remember this one. This looks great.
This looks cool, Zax.
This looks really cool.
So this was on the, let's just check it there, NES. Okay, on the Famicom, the first one. Gameplay demo.
So Zach's played this one?
Let's see if I can share it. I think so, yeah. Oops. Let's see if I can share the screen very quickly. Here we go. Stop sharing that. Zach, did you play this? Let us know in the chat. I'm going to show a little bit of the gameplay. Here we go. 1 second. Share the screen again. I say down. I'm still like learning how to do this as I go. Cyber Stadium Base Wars Series share. Okay. Just turn the sound down. Is that coming through? There we go. Just turn the sound down to be safe.
Oh, I suppose everything is a risk.
Let's just skip ahead a little bit. Let's see some gameplay action. This looks cool!
Oh god, that looks great.
Whoa, nice one, Zax.
That reminds me of the NES baseball game. Do you remember the NES, the basic baseball game, where the ball would pop up like that and the figures were very like cartoony?
Yes, I do. Let's just play a little bit more and hail that 70s rock fan in the chat. Nice to see you, man. Let's go. Where are we? Play a little bit more. There we go. Ooh. Oh, right. You have duels as well.
Oh, my.
What the hell? So in the middle of the game, you suddenly have a fight.
No wonder Zach's like this game. Damn.
Okay, he's saying you'd have to fight for the base and then upgrade your cyborgs for both baseball and combat.
Oh my gosh. This is exactly, this is the kind of game any kid would love, because you're upgrading. All that little minutia is so important.
I tell you, man, if I could stream this, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? You know, go real deep retro. Go back to the NES, the NES or the SNES.
Yes.
Man.
Well, you need to play this against Zach's.
Yeah. On the live stream.
Yeah.
Again, though, it's I'm not that tech savvy, Daniel, and I know you've got to get something else. You need things to connect to be able to play your, especially Nintendo ones. I don't know why, through the computer. So it's something I'm gonna have to research and work out. I was just looking for the easiest way. That's why I went for Steam. You know, Steam. It's okay if you've got graphics card that's any good, but there we go.
Steam is great because it just does so much for you.
Yes, it does. Not many people know that Gray's a singer from Iron Butterfly. He sang the hit. What? Inagada Gada Vida. What the hell? Nosferatu, where are you going with that? That 70s rock fan says, I only play 4-bit games. Let's have a bit more. Another fight, here we go. It's not even that bad, the graphics.
It's not.
Okay, thanks for that. I'll stop sharing. That's brilliant. Thanks very much, Sax. That's cool, man. If you upgraded your picture enough, you could kill the batter.
Oh my. The game is amazing. there was a game I played like crazy called Herzog's Wii, and it let me see if I can find some video. It was a player versus player game with base building, and you would create armies of robots. And music was super cool too.
He's pitching, but who's catching? That's right. Herzog. No, not Herzog. Nos, don't bring Herzog into the chat, whatever you do. Oh, gosh. Let's see, why are you finding that? I'm going to share, again, a little bit from the gaming I did before. Let's back to the beginning. So I had a little bit of Street Fighter Alpha 3 I was playing. Recorded it because I couldn't live stream it. As I was saying, my system is too low powered, but
yeah,
it was good. It still looks pretty good, this, doesn't it? Alpha 3.
It looks great.
Bad. Yeah. Playing it on the monitor on the big screen is just fantastic. The music was good, with headphones on. It's very retro, but got really into it.
The audio is coming across really well, and it's smooth.
Oh, so the audio is what I edited. I added it on.
Yeah.
Because the game audio, I had to silence it because I left my mic on. So I was just like,
okay.
Click, click, bang, cut off, shit, swearing and everything. I was louder than the game music. Oh, shit.
So were you just putting generic game music into the gameplay?
Yeah. I just went to the YouTube's audio library, the free one, and just found two kind of gamey kind of soundtracks.
It was seamless. Yeah.
It's just there's no sound effects. Don't you miss the what's it? Uroken! That he screams. I don't know what he's saying, Ryu, when he does his special move.
Uruken.
Oh, that's it. Uruken.
Yeah.
Daniel, that's perfect. I'm in Japan and I know Japanese, but I don't even know what it means.
I can't remember what any of them mean.
Uruken. Probably just like a made-up word.
Yeah.
Just turn it down a bit. It's got a bit loud. There we go.
Do you remember the Street Fighter animated movie? Not the live action, the animated one.
I haven't seen the animated one. I got halfway through the live action and turned it off.
So the live action is kind of like the Dungeons and Dragons movie. It's more like a cheesy thing you watch because it's bad. But the animated movie, there's a Street Fighter animated movie that has amazingly well done animation. And it's got a pretty adult story. It's really well done. It came out in the 90s, if I remember correctly. It's got this amazing battle between Chun-Li and Vega.
Ooh, I remember Vega.
So Vega is like an assassin, and Chun-Li she's, I think, a Chinese agent, policeman. She gets assigned to the American soldier guy. What's his name again?
I've got Guinan in my head as well. Guinan! Oh my god.
Guinan.
From Star Trek.
I want to say Guy, but they're working together to hunt down like Bison and his gang, and then Ryu and Ken are doing their own thing, and they have to fight Bison. But Vega is a assassin, and he gets sent to kill Chun-Li, and she's in her apartment taking a shower, and he comes in and she's like just in a towel, and of course she's fighting like with barely anything on, and it's this bloody battle. It's super brutal. It's the most amazing battle scene.
That's it. I'm going to watch it after this stream. I've got to watch it now.
You have to see it. It's so good.
Okay, we have another guest joining us, Daniel. Do you know that 70s rock fan?
Oh, yeah, I watched him, yeah.
Of course you do. And Zax was saying it's Guile, Guile. Guile. Nice one, Zax. Let me add that 70s rock fan to the stream. Here we go.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing, sir? Daniel, how are you doing?
Good. I loved your video with Salty Texas Sea.
Oh, right, thank you. Yeah, and Zax said some very nice words about me there, which I wasn't expecting, so that was extremely...
That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Salty's doing some great work there. I mean, these are fantastic videos he's making, and it was an honor to be a part of that. It was fun because he hits you with these questions when he interviews you without you having any prep. I didn't have any prep time, so it was all off the cuff. So afterwards, I was like, "Shit, what did I say?"
Me too. I didn't say enough. I was like, I wish I'd said more. I wish I'd said more.
That's right. Now I'm looking back at it thinking, I wish I'd just said that. That would have sounded so clever. However, it was fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's a great series. So, what the hell is this game?
I know, right? Street Fighter Alpha 3 or Street Fighter 3 Alpha. So, man.
Thanks, Nosferatu, for saying that. Those
Fucking
kind words. Everyone's so nice.
Did you ever used to play Rockfan? Did you used to play any consoles?
I always had PlayStations, and well, in fact, before that, I had like the Commodore 64 and Sinclair.
Yes.
Sinclair ZX80, Commodore 64. So I'd play some games on those. Then I had PlayStations, but I was never really that into games. I'd play one or two games, like a bit of this, a bit of that, and I was like, I could touch it, I could take it or leave it. Yeah. And I think finally the penny dropped for me when my son bought me a copy of Fallout New Vegas.
Oh.
And that was it. I was hooked. So I played that to death for about a year, and then I played Skyrim, and then I just started playing all these other things, and RPGs particularly. So since then, I consider myself a gamer now. I got into it in a big way, but all those years it was like maybe 1 or 2 games a year, and then bang, I just found the right game.
I was just thinking of getting back into some older RPG game like Morrowind or something that has because I played Morrowind, but I didn't give it the time it needed, and I think it'd be a great game to go back to.
Yeah, I've played it since I played Skyrim. I went back and played that, and I played Oblivion after I'd played Skyrim. Just for this, and I played it's a great thing about those is I played those on PC, not console, so I could at least use a lot of mods, kind of buff them up a bit and look a bit better. Those are great games. I mean, I'm kind of nervous about the next Elder Scrolls, knowing Bethesda.
Yeah, that's another reason I want to go backwards. Like, I want to go back in time.
Yeah.
But Elder Scrolls is, I think, the best RPG game there is.
I think it's great. Possibly the best series. Yeah, I do love, as Nosferatu said this, I do love New Vegas. That will be my game of my life forever. I played that for about a year. I just love that game to death. And it's interesting that wasn't really a Bethesda, of course. So that's maybe why it was good, because Fallout 4 was boring and 76 is an abomination to mankind. So
I had a love-hate thing with Fallout, so I didn't even try New Vegas, but I have a friend who loves it.
New Vegas is a unique creature of its own. It's a fantastic game. Great stories, great voice acting, meaningful choices, and a lot of fun. Like Fallout 4 was boring compared to New Vegas. It just was like, bleh. There was nobody in it worth caring about, which it's criminal for an RPG. You want choices, you want characters you can care about. It makes you want to, like, I've played The Witcher 3 times, start to finish, because I absolutely love the characters in it and I love the game.
Wow, I'm impressed, man.
Yeah, I just love that game.
I agree completely. That's what matters. Characters you care about. Dragon Age Origins is another one.
Yeah, I love that game too. Yeah. And the Mass Effect series is another big favorite of mine.
I'll be right back. Someone's at the door.
So it's the game authorities that come to check up.
What kind of video card you got in there?
Properly. You did not play that game properly. Yes.
Yeah, they take it seriously in Japan.
They do. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff I really get into, that kind of RPG, I just I play some other things, but those are my favorites. And Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and stuff like that. I love stuff like that.
Oh, Deus Ex. Yeah, that was another one. Wow. Yeah, I want to get lost in an RPG, and then I also worry about the time sink of it, and I feel like I have no time as it is. It's so weird how there's never any time in the day.
I know what you mean. That now that I do a lot of YouTube, plus I'm working again right now, although that's just seasonal. I just never have any time. I mean, I've got a list of things, films, and shows to watch that long, and
I'm the same. I'm the same, man. Yeah, exactly.
because I don't just play shoot 'em ups, you know. You can go in and take 'em or leave it. I like to get into something.
That's why I started playing the fighting game, Street Fighter, because it's a short, it's to beat 'em up. So if I want to play like an RPG, I've been looking at the old Chrono Trigger from the from the Super NES. Remember that years ago?
Pretty good, yeah. Pretty good.
Daniel, go for it, Swimmer.
I just don't know how any of you YouTubers have any free time.
It's tough. I mean, I love it though. That's the thing about it. I mean, I've got a long history with YouTube. Some of it successful, some of it not. But like I had a channel years ago when YouTube just started or was really starting to grow, and all I did was posted clips I'd copied off VHS tapes of music stuff that were like I'd been copying on VHS tapes for decades. And I just posted those up there. I had millions of viewers, and then of course nothing. Then they clamped down on the copyright stuff. I wasn't making any money out of it. It was all just for fun. So that channel went bye. And then like when I always got into watching a lot of stuff, especially when COVID hit and I got laid off. I was sitting there and I think, well, what's on this YouTube here today? Oh my God, who are all these guys doing this live stuff? What is this thing? Who's this guy called Gary? And who's this Razor Fist guy? And who's this guy? And I realized, you know what? I could get into that. That would be fun. And low. But yeah, the time, in fact, I mean, it takes me, I guess some people could knock them out, but it takes me a couple of days to make a video. And if I'm working, it's hard to find that time. And then I'm doing live shows like Midnight's Edge After Dark and Toxic Tuesdays and then my own stuff. And I prep. I don't know about other people, but I spend time prepping for my shows. I don't just flip the camera on. So it's my own burden. That's what I do to myself. Like at my show every 2 weeks on a Monday, I'll spend 3 or 4 days prepping for that. Wow. I hope it shows. If it
controversial question for you from Nosferatu. Welsh or Scottish?
Is anybody really Welsh though? I mean, what is Welsh? I am very definitely Scottish, albeit Canadian Scottish. I do live in Canada, but yes, I'm Scottish.
So pushing Scottish
here. There's pushing galore. Yes, absolutely. I could be like, what's that Rob Brydon and the guy, the Steve Coogan, where they do the Trip series.
Oh yeah,
cool. You could be one of them, and I could be the other. I'll be Rob Brydon, and you can be Steve Coogan. Yes, and they spend all day out doing each other with, the impressions. Not a lot of people know that, but it's.
What is Gray's official UK accent?
Smooth. Smooth jazz. He's the smooth jazz of accents.
It's supposed to be from Manchester, Daniel, which a strong Manchester accent that people kind of talk like this if it's a very strong one. It's a little bit like Liverpool, but it's a bit more nasally Manchester. They talk like that.
Yeah, I can actually hear that in your voice. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Having just done that video on David Warner, who was from Manchester.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, absolutely. But I can hear a similarity there. Yeah. Because Manchester's famous for music, not just Liverpool. Everybody talks about Liverpool, but Manchester had the Hollies, and the Bee Gees were from Manchester. Everybody thinks they were from Australia. They only lived there for a while. They were from Manchester. There was loads of groups from Manchester. Yeah, some of which you'd want to forget about, of course. But like Herman's Hermits and.
I used to like Joy Division, and then who became New Order.
Well, the later stuff, yeah.
The later stuff, yeah.
I've seen Joy Division live.
Wow.
I saw Joy Division, yeah, because they toured with the Buzzcocks in 1979. I was at that. I went to that gig in Edinburgh. And then, of course, Ian Curtis killed himself, so it was practically their one and only tour. So it's one of my claims to fame. People kill themselves after I go to the concert.
It's not that depressing. Well, it is kind of depressing.
Oh my God, I can see him in the audience. Shit. It's all over.
The guys in the chat, they're saying my voice is very posh. Apparently it's commanding. Is that right? Commando. I wonder how the Canadian accent fits into the UK accent styles.
Well, it depends which part of Canada, because if you live out in the eastern Canada, like Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, they've got a quasi-Scottish-Irish thing going on, which I can't imitate them. They've definitely got their own way of speaking, and it's a lot closer to the older UK accents. But yeah, some parts of Canada are kind of English sounding, like the parts of Ontario. But then they've got this aboot thing going on. A boot.
Yeah, we all love the aboot.
I love that. What is that from? Do you know? Is that from?
I think they made it up.
French, or came into it a little bit from?
It could be, actually. There is always that twinge of Quebecois French, which they speak in a certain way, like hockey puck, shoot the puck. You know, they've got a certain.
That's
I
cool.
can't do it.
I can't do it either. Daniel, can you do Canadian?
I cannot do Canadian, although I'm from Chicago, and I've been told that I sound like a Canadian sometimes.
You probably do, yeah.
It's that northern thing.
That's right, yeah.
To me, that's the most horrible thing you could say to me.
Okay, so what's your position on pineapple on pizza then, coming from Chicago?
Oh God, no, that's crime. I love Gary, but that's a crime. No Chicago
sorry.
worth his salt.
I agree. I don't have it. In the UK we used to have what's called gammon steak with pineapple on it, pineapple ring, gammon steak. So it's like pork basically.
We had the fried gammon steak with the pineapple ring out of the can of sliced pineapple.
Sliced pineapple. Does that sound crazy to you, Daniel?
I like the sliced can of pineapple, but it was always more of a cheesy thing at Thanksgiving time because they'd end up like on the turkey and stuff. But
oh, it's a little bit similar then, yeah.
Gotta see if I can find this picture. I did post it on Twitter, and I even sent it to Gary. It was the pineapple with the bits of pizza on it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that? Yeah,
that was cool, and I think you put it on Twitter or somewhere.
I did, yeah. A lot of people responded to it. It's an abomination.
70s, the Nosferatu's saying, I want to have a beer with 70s and listen to the Blue Velvets and the Gollywogs, the band before CCR.
That's right. They did try and ditch that name fairly rapidly when they got a major label gig. Yeah, did you watch my Nosferatu? Did you see my live stream on Creedence? I did a 3-hour live stream on them a few weeks ago, which was quite good fun.
Oh, please let us know in the chat, Nos.
Yeah.
Daniel, Chicago pizza is a crime.
I wouldn't go that far.
Ooh, fighting talk from Nosferatu there.
It can't injure me. I already know we have the best pizza. New York has nothing. Their pizza is so boring and lame. It's got nothing on it. It's just like paper with a little bit of sprinkle of sauce.
Face it, what is New York good for? Food
nothing.
Bagels? I don't know. I don't even like bagels.
Rats in the street. They're garbage.
In the street. Yeah.
Great skyline.
Why? Their city doesn't have
movies.
Alleys. They don't have alleyways, so their garbage ends up in the main street.
Yes, indeed. And quite frankly, how would you know the difference in New York?
Yeah.
How could you tell which is the garbage and which is the normal furniture or whatever you call it in the street?
Sounds a bit like Manchester, where I'm from. Well, it used to be a lot worse. It's a lot better these days. They've cleaned it up, but man, it used to be a bit of a grimy place when I was young.
It was an industrial. It was an industrial city, yes. But a lot of good music. I mean, I'm a huge Hollies fan, and they're Manchester's, and they had more hits than the Beatles. It's a great band, the Hollies. And I've been to a few. I went to Granada Studios once. But I was working. I went there for a work thing, a conference, and we all got shown around Granada Studios in Manchester, and we got to have a drink in the Rover's Return. from Coronation Street. We all got a pint in that. And there's two, of course. There's one that they use for the filming, and then there's another one you can go in for a drink. They both look exactly the same, except obviously the one they film in is only got 3 walls on it.
Daniel, it's a soap opera that's been going for years, hasn't it? 70s in the UK, called Coronation Street.
I think it was actually going before I was even born, and I was born in '63. I'm pretty sure it was going before that. It's weird because my wife and I were just talking about that show today, and I had no idea why, but we mentioned it, and of course there's a guy in that show, Ken Barlow, I can't think of the actor's name. He's still in that show, and he's been in it since he was 17 in the very first episode of it, and he's still in the show, and he's like 90. Now imagine living your entire life out as playing another character, a person other than yourself in a television show.
It's the Truman Show in real life.
Oh, that's what we said. I thought, how Truman Show is that? I mean, he must wonder who he is sometimes. Which am I him or am I? I mean, he's done well out of it. It's been a great sort of regular paycheck for him, but it's like 60 plus years and playing the same character.
The old soaps are fascinating things, and you want them after a certain point. You just want them to keep going you're rooting for it.
I think it's an endurance test with this one. It refuses to die, and it's still going. I mean, I never really got into it. I hated them as a kid because my older sister wanted to watch them, and my mother, and we only had one TV in the house, of course. So that was me. I was scuppered. I couldn't watch whatever Star Trek or whatever.
So, 70s, Zach is saying, you and Salty got to share a brew. The universe almost imploded.
That's right.
Is that right? What happened there?
Well, I went in January. I went down to Dallas, where I used to live for a few days. Popped down to Austin, hung out with Corey Salty, who's a lot taller in real life than he looks.
Yep. I met him in Dallas too. I'm 6'3", and I had to look up.
Yeah, he's a big guy. So I met him and Matt from Foulball Productions, just another red shirt and his wife, Daniela, who's been on Matt's show a few times, Jake D, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody, and I can't think who it is, and they're going to hate me for missing them. Shit. There was somebody else there, I'm sure.
Pressure, 70s, pressure.
On. I'm old, I've got an excuse. So it was a kind of a mini meetup. There was about 10 of us there, I think, and it was kind of neat. Just to describe Joe.
Which one? There are currently 3. Is it 3 or 4?
There are 3 of them right now.
At least?
All of them.
What's going on? What's going on with that?
You'd think if they're going to get a double, they could pick someone without dementia and COVID at the same time, you know.
Is he deep faking himself at this point?
He could be. That's actually that's a cunning plan, isn't it?
Right, because you could accuse him, and then he could show the footage of him actually on stage and be like, "No, look, I was there."
It could be almost though he might be falling into the Bubba Hotep trap with Elvis, who fakes his own death, and then when fakes his hands over, then the guy dies, and so he can't come back because Elvis is dead.
I've heard that one of the guys is an actor. He's actually an actor who's played him before or something, and they're using him for some of the press. I don't know if it's for sure, but some people say there are 6. There are 5 or 6. It's like, nah, I think there's 3. I've seen 3 different pictures.
So you're legitimately...
The ears are different, teeth are different here, the mouth.
Yeah, there's 4 Hillary Clintons at least, because the real one's like...
Holy shit.
The real one's not really in good shape, so when you see one that's all... You know it's not her.
Oh, really? Is that true? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, there's an absolute body double of her that goes out to certain events. But that's been going on for decades, that kind of thing.
And that's why he says he's 7 foot tall and 500 pounds. He is.
He carries it well, though.
Oh, dear.
So, yeah, it was nice to have a meet-up. I couldn't go to the Dallas meet-up this time because I'm working and still... tough to get in and out of Canada, and then I won't be able to go to Vegas, so I'm missing all these meetups.
Me too.
I don't think I'll be able to go to Orlando because I'm moving in October, so I'll have to wait till next year. And nobody missed me anyway. So
this is interesting. We started out as I was going to try and do a live stream game, which I couldn't do 70s because my computer graphics card is crap, basically. So as I
can't
found
even handle 8-bit games.
no, it can't. Running through Steam. I could play it on the computer, but I can't live stream at the same time.
Were you playing it on a console? Was it?
No, I've got it through Steam on the PC. So
do you need it? Did you need an emulator, or is it still just a Windows?
No, it's just what do you call it? The VRAM, the graphics RAM. Problem.
Okay.
It went up to 95%, and it was just cutting out. So I was like, okay, I have to get an upgrade. I thought you might know about that. Did you upgrade your PC? Like, do you know how to insert a graphics card, ladies?
I build all my own PCs.
Inserting a graphics card is pretty straightforward.
It is. You just take the cover off, you take the card out of the protective plastic, and you shove it in.
Really?
It's the shoving it in part that's tricky, because you think you're going to break it, but you just have to shove.
That's what I'm scared. No experience at all.
Make sure that you do shove it in the right way, of course.
Yes.
You know the bits on the bottom that have got the little metal strips on them? They go into the slots.
Okay. See, I'm a total newbie at this. Just like, what?
But yeah, I build all my own PCs, and in fact, I need a new graphics card because I couldn't get one in the last couple of years. They were also scarce and expensive.
The Bitcoin people have driven the price of graphics cards up because they use them for mining Bitcoins.
Oh, seriously? They are expensive. They're really expensive. Even the basic ones. I'm just looking to get like a 4 gigabyte because I've only got 512 meg on my computer.
All right. Well, I would do something about that then first if I was you. But that should be your first port of call. But you can never have enough RAM. 64 gig is usually the best.
Okay. The main RAM's okay, but it's the VRAM. I'm not even sure the difference, but that's that's poor, man. That's poor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I'm not a super expert, but I do love building them. And sometimes if you want a good graphics card these days, it's better just to buy the whole damn PC.
Yeah.
Because the bundle, you could get an RTX 3070 or 3060, a good one, bundled into a pre-made gaming PC for about $2,000. Where if you try and buy the card on its own, it was like $1,200, So.
Zach's making a good point. You got to make sure it's compatible. Because how old is your PC?
Just 1 year.
Oh, that's pretty recent. But still, the motherboard has to be able to accept whatever you're putting in it.
Yeah, you got to really know what your motherboard is, and is it Windows as well? It's a Windows machine. Okay, so you got to. There's a few factors. What chip?
It's got AMD Radeon.
It's an AMD.
Radeon. Yeah. Okay. In there at the moment, but it's very basic. But I think what I'll have to do first is just take it apart, take the cover off, and have a look inside and see what how it works. But I'm too scared to do that. So
I'll find some mice. There'll be mice in there nesting.
It might be easier, guys. What do you think? Just to get a PlayStation and just stream that instead. I don't know.
I still think you're better with a PC. I mean, I think it's the best option for streaming anything. I mean, having said that, a lot of people stream on consoles. I just don't. If I'm going to do anything, I'll do it on either PC or I've got this Alienware laptop I use for all my YouTube stuff.
Okay.
I play games and stream games on that. It's got the power, and I think you're just. I mean, I like to if I play games mainly it's PC now because I can get some. I like mods, So.
And
but then also got Stream Deck and all that, and OBS. I find it's much easier to do it. I've got better control over the microphone if I'm doing it all on the PC.
I'm really basic system here. It's all through the PC. Streaming's fine. I say it's just I can't run games at the same time because it's too weak.
That's a shame.
Yeah. The computer's pretty good.
It's not the weakness of my equipment that's the problem when I'm streaming games. It's the fact I'm a shit game player.
There is that too for me. Yeah, I'm not gaming in years.
Like, oh fuck, I just hit that. Oh god, I've crashed. Oh shit. People are watching, and I hate people. It's funny. I've streamed some games and I hate people watching me when I'm playing games, and yet I'm streaming them.
Don't worry about it. That's part of the fun, isn't it? Daniel, how about you? What do you do? Do you play much games these days? And we talked a little bit about it, but
oh yeah, I still play a lot. I play League of Legends with my friends, and that's the game that they based the show Arcane off of.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So and that still takes a lot of fast motor control. And then I also play a game with a friend. Battlegrounds.
Oh yeah, Battleground.
Yeah.
BattleTech or no?
No. It's PUBG.
PUBG.
Yeah. So, which is a fantastic style of game. It's battle royale. You know that.
I used to play some of those, but I'm really crap at them.
Japanese movie Battle Royale. No?
Yes, it's basically battle royale. The Japanese movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So it's last man standing, but you can play it as a team and do like a pair or a team of 4. Do last team standing, and I'm proud of myself because at my age I can still keep up. I'm not quite as quick. I've lost a little bit of speed, but I can still aim and kill and stay alive.
Yeah, I've started playing a bit of Mech Warrior 5 with.
Oh, that's a good game.
Pope Metallicus and Imperatus, and I'm just so not used to playing that. I don't play a lot of multiplayer games, because that one, the base of the Mech Warrior is separately controlled from the top, and I haven't quite got used to that yet, so I'm all over the place.
That is an awesome. Do you have a joystick?
No, I just I've actually used a PS5 controller to play it on my laptop.
Nice.
It works fine, but they've finished the mission and they're back waiting to get picked up, and I'm still somewhere on the other side of the map. Just no idea what I'm doing, you know.
We've had a raid, guys. A raid from the Nerdporeal stream. He was doing a stream on Better Call Saul. So nice to see you, Prophet of the Dragon, Nerdporeal, Sherry.
There was an episode tonight, I think, of Better Call Saul. I'll see it tomorrow probably, but I think it's the one Walter and Jesse are meant to be in. They mentioned Walter White got mentioned last week's episode, but I think they're actually in this one.
They go live right after. They do a live stream over the episode. That's dedication. And let's say hello to Roman. Roman of the Empire is here.
Hey, Roman.
Hey, guys. Good evening. Sorry, that took me a second. I know I make it look easy every week with my complete lack of technical difficulties, but I literally have to set everything up to do this. So, no, you're smooth. You're smooth as silk gray.
You missed it, Roman.
As a prune pulling this thing together. Hey, guys.
Good to see you.
Hi,
Good to see you. We're just talking about all sorts, actually, a little bit of retro gaming or general gaming. Do you game, Roman, these days, or not anymore?
No, I try, and then I die, and then I throw the controller, and then I'm done gaming. It's about my run. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. Won't lie.
I feel your pain.
Me too. I've just got back into it years away. I mean, we're talking years and years. I played a little bit of what's the one before the Switch? Oh my god, I can't remember Nintendo. But anyway, with my daughter, the Wii. I played a little bit of the Wii.
Oh, I love the Wii.
Wii, when we say Wii Scottish, sorry, 70s. Wii. Me Wii daughter.
Bit of Wii came out there.
There's that Wii as well. There's two Wiis. Wii can mean small. It can also mean pee-pee.
Yeah.
That got so weird so fast. Does it always have to go that way with you, man?
What is it about my streams, my Wii streams? Jesus, I don't know. Nerdporeal, okay, good to see you. And I can't believe it. We have had a stream raid. We've gone from like 2 or 3 people watching to 6. We've doubled our numbers. It's unbelievable.
I think everyone knows I'm here.
The 70s rock star magnetism.
Yeah, exactly. The word is out clearly. But,
I really loved your interview, by the way. Actually, all of your interviews. I think I've gotten to see everybody's now.
They were Salty's stuff. He's done a brilliant job. I'm so
mine's off for till like mid-August or something is when you got me posted for. But yeah, I've really enjoyed seeing everybody.
I had to pay him $20 to get mine pushed up in the roster.
Oh, nice job! I should have thought about bribery. I feel like I missed my calling. Gosh.
No, it's good. I look forward to seeing you on that. Then, yeah, they've been great. I think Gray, you were before me though, weren't you? Did you go before me?
I was, yeah, and that was the one where I said, like, please, can I do it again? And he, to be fair, he did say, look, if you want to do it again, I can, because I just gave short answers. I didn't know. I didn't think like to.
I didn't know.
People are giving dissertations, and I'm trying to keep like 30-second answers like a dummy. But it was.
That's what I thought. What he wanted. I thought he wanted short answers.
Never do what the interviewer.
Tolkien.
Disparu one, he was given like 3-minute, 4-minute answers, and they were all scholarly and absolutely. And I thought, oh my god, I just did like 20 seconds.
Next level, baby, next level.
Yeah.
You never do what the interviewer tells you to do. You just take control.
Indeed.
Apparently. Apparently.
That's good advice, Daniel. I think that's what a 70s rock fan likes to do. Okay, I'm here now. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take over the stream. Come on.
Nosferatu was really making me embarrassed. His praise is so high.
Why do UK people love piss? That's what he's asking.
It's because we live in it. We're used to it. We live in it. The weather is pish. Everything's pish in Britain.
Roman is pure eye candy as well. That's from Nosferatu.
I said he for Nosferatu, of course. I was assuming someone's gender there, and I shouldn't have done that.
It's still unclear. It's still unclear. He's a vampire. So.
Vampires don't really have gender, kind of. Well, they do, but they don't have sex, apparently. Which I've always thought, what's the point of living forever if you can't ever have sex again? And drinking blood's all very well, but, you know.
I thought vampires could. Could they not have sex? Oh my god. Yeah, what's the point,
it just depends. Depends on the lore you're plucking from. Although, you know, I think in the classic lore, it was probably a no. In the modern lore, it's a yes. But in the modern lore, everything is a yes. So...
It's all about sex. I mean, sex is great, but you can't beat the real thing. That's what I say.
The problem is for Nosferatu, he can't drink blood at the moment because of the old punky mocks. Don't want to say the real words. It's stupid. The worst name ever. Come on.
I know. If you're going to name a disease, it shouldn't sound silly.
Scrofula. Should sound like scrofula. That's a great
serious, yeah.
Something really, you know, it sounds horrible and...
There it is.
It's a bad time to be a vampire.
Cock drop, something like that.
Galloping Nobro. There's a bit of
Oh god. Oh my god. By the way, guys, I was going to keep the stream to just an hour 30, so just give it another 10 minutes. So before we round things up, anything you want to bring up and talk about apart from piss and cock drop? Anyone?
Daniel, you were here
Daniel,
first.
here's your chance.
No, I have nothing to talk about. I'm sorry. Watch more Grey. I have a thing I want to talk about. When are we going to see the resolution to Blade Runner?
Part 3 is in the works. I've just got to finish my screen grabs, and I've been reading Future Noir. Finally, Future Noir, which is a fantastic book. The Making of Blade Runner, brilliant book. Can't recommend it highly enough.
It is. Yeah, it's a great book. Yeah. So you're gonna have a resolution to Blade Runner, because that would just ruin it for me if it was resolved.
No,
I like it unresolved.
I agree.
To remain unresolved. Yes. It does not. Everything has to be tidy, Not
yes.
Has to be wrapped up.
Well, I also think we need future Grey Blade Runner shows. Like, you just keep on talking about Blade Runner forever. Because your Blade Runner streams are so good.
It is something you could talk endlessly about. There's certain things I could just talk about forever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Blade Runner is one of those movies. For me, The Thing is one of those movies. I can go on about The Thing in its various forms.
Oh, love it.
There's the three versions. There's the novella, Who Goes There. Then there was The Thing from Another World, 1951, and then The Thing, 1982. And between the three of those, that is a quite full conversation.
Oh yeah, it's not that long ago I got the Steelbook, The Thing, the Carpenter one. New Steelbook was out a while back, and I got one of those.
That is
beautiful.
Awesome.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it's one of my 5 favorite movies of all time, I would say. I'm a big Carpenter fan anyway.
Me too.
I've been a big John Carpenter fan, yeah. But The Thing is just like perfection.
It's amazing. And one of my favorites is Big Trouble in Little China. I know it's a bit cheesy, but I absolutely adore it.
It's fun as all hell. We were talking a little bit about Halloween tonight. I mean, I think Carpenter definitely apexed with The Thing. It's not that he didn't do other good work, but I think that was his high point, easy.
I think anybody would be proud to consider that movie their high point. It's so
no lie.
fucking good. I could watch that movie every week. You know, it's that good. I just love it. It's got everything. I was just had an image here I was going to call up, but
I'm quite a big fan of one of his later ones. Is it In the Mouth of Madness? The one with Sam Neill.
Because I just mentioned that on my David Warner video. I just mentioned that because that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Is he in that, David Warner? I'd forgotten that.
Yes, he's the psychiatrist or psychologist.
Yeah,
the doctor in the madhouse.
Time for a rewatch.
It's not a big part, but as I said in my video, no one says swollen testicles quite like David Warner.
I just love doing time bandits.
A lot, so.
He does say it a lot, yeah.
Nerdporeal saying, if you like Blade Runner, check out the video game Snatcher. Don't know that. If you like Blade Runner. Ooh, I have to check it out.
So, hang on.
I'd probably die.
Something with you. See if I can
let me just get rid of this. There we go.
Speaking of the thing.
Season's greetings. Wish you were here.
Oh, look how happy they are.
My favourite Christmas card. Wish we were there, it should say.
Kurt Russell's gone full Jim Morrison look there, wasn't he in that movie?
Didn't he? I think he looks like he's in the Grateful Dead. Or, as opposed to the soon-to-be dead.
True,
anyway,
true.
Love that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I've got that action figure. He's actually sitting right there.
All right, cool. Nice.
I'm
old enough to have seen it at the cinema, of course. I saw the thing at the cinema. I don't know how... I wouldn't speak to anyone else's age, but I'm old enough to have seen it in the cinema.
Wow.
My God, I came out of that going, I have got to go back and see that again tomorrow. It's just so good. And I did. Yeah, that was some experience, you know, the bit where and wasn't really expecting the arms out of the coming out of the chest or the chest burst.
That one gets everybody.
I wasn't expecting it. Truly, it's the days when nowadays you would know it was coming because everyone would just. And I went to see it like an opening night, so total surprise. Oh my God, the whole cinema. I think they just shat themselves. You know, what the hell's that smell? You know.
Any scene where someone loses their hands or arms is so horrific.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was just those practical effects were so good.
Yeah.
They still hold up today. Still fantastic.
And then there was that dreadful 2011 prequel.
Oh,
It
was so bad.
Totally pointless. What was the point of that shit?
No, that's one of those movies you should never, ever, ever touch again. The A2 version was a nice build and better in most respects to the 51 movie. I mean, the 82, I don't know if you guys read the novella, but the 82 version was the novella. Modernized, but all the key aspects still there. They had to combine characters like they always do in these kind of things. But man, it was such a good adaptation.
It's I don't know. I couldn't live without that movie. It's one of these. I've got to watch every so often. I just go, oh, fuck, I've got to watch that again. And then I try and show it to people who've never seen it. But you got to watch this, and they go, oh, that looks a bit old-fashioned. You know, fuck, just watch it.
I have a question.
Exactly. I think the only thing that even dates it a little, there's like two things that date it a little bit is the computer that he's the chess master computer that he pours his J&B whiskey into, and then Knowles the cook as he's roller skating around the kitchen. That is that scene is definitely of a time, but the rest of it could be any time, honestly.
That's right. Yeah.
How does the same
except
guy?
there are a bunch of whining beta males down there.
How does the same guy that makes the Thing make Ghosts of Mars?
We don't talk about Mars.
Good question. Good question.
Quite a bit older. But he still made a few good ones. I mean, as you say, In the Mouth of Madness. I like the vampire one with James Woods.
Yes, that was enjoyable as well.
Title's got out of my head now. I'm getting old.
I think it was just vampires, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I thought it was something real basic bitch like that.
I think it was just like vampires.
Vampires. There was one more as well, Prince of Darkness. Do you remember that one? With Donald
Pleasance. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Well, that was part of the He
wasn't
claimed
too bad.
it was a trilogy. The Thing,
Yeah.
In the Mouth of Madness, and Prince of Darkness. He claimed
the
they were part of a
apocalyptic trilogy.
Yeah. I didn't really see it myself, but
I didn't. Yeah, I mean, no, that's a weird connection to me. And Prince of Darkness was another just bizarro film, though I think it on its own it made more sense than Into the Mouth of Madness, which was just mind blow stuff.
I mean, I've got it on my list of movies to do a show about, because I do music stuff and then I do movie stuff in my live shows, kind of turn about, and I've got In the Mouth of Madness on there. I still to this day I'm not entirely sure, and I read a lot about it, but Sam Neill was a character in the book. Is that what we're meant to take from the ending? That he was a character in the book? Because
it's like Blade Runner. We don't know. We don't know the ending. We gotta.
Is he a character in the book? Isn't he? Is that why he's? Is that why?
Is he the
he's
writer?
upset?
No.
Is he?
I just watched Memento. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh yeah.
So now there are parts of that. I literally just watched the thing, and I'm having questions about what did and didn't happen. It's like, okay. I enjoy the mind screw movies though, because you sit and you're turning that stuff over in your head for, days, weeks, years after you've seen that type of movie. I wish I just put a character into the Mouth of Madness.
His mind-bending stuff's pretty good, but I occasionally would like a bit of a hint as to what might be going on. And I think Sam Neill was in the book. I'm thinking.
See, now I gotta watch it with that lens on, and maybe I'll be less weirded out throughout the entirety of the movie.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be like, oh, well, this makes sense in context that bro is in the book.
I was just thinking of a scene the other day from, I think it's Vanilla Sky.
Oh.
When Kurt Russell realizes he's not real. When Kurt Russell realizes he's a made-up character and he's just in the guy's head, and he goes, I can't believe I'm not real. He's really upset by it. He's like, this sucks.
Well, it's got to be a disappointment.
It was like, because he has enough awareness to realize he's not real. I thought,
Daniel, do it, by the way. Do it. Make yourself a Blade Runner related video.
Vanilla
do
fudge.
I made a couple test videos.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody mention Inagada Davida earlier? Well, that was Iron Butterfly.
That was right. Nosferatu was talking about it.
Yeah, Vanilla Fudge did the 30-minute version of You Keep Me Hanging On, I think. The sort of heavy rock version of... That was in the days when if you took a 3-minute pop song, you could stretch out a whole album out of it.
Really?
Just 10 more minutes. All we need is an encore.
Nerdporeal, yes, you do get a prize. You have to send a self-stamped addressed envelope to Daniel. You, the 10 subscriber.
Write that out in an envelope and put it in a box.
I had a picture I've been looking for of the fake newspaper about the Arctic Times, and it's got the fake story about the, upset at Arctic base, strange events, and it's like a proper newspaper. I'm trying to find the picture of it. I don't know what I've done with it. It was about the thing, and I showed it to somebody. They didn't get it. They said, well, what is this shit? I said, read it. You really got to read it. And it talks about the movie in it. Antarctic
Did you ever play the
Times
video game?
I didn't. No.
I tried it.
It was good.
Yeah.
They did it was a PC game back in the day, as the kids say. And then they released a version for Xbox. Now, comparatively by today's graphic stylings, it's a bit clunky. But it's actually a nice find it, solve it, kill it kind of game.
It kept the theme of the movie within the game, so you're doing the same kind of thing.
Yep, and it's a good long play. It's not a quick one, so you're not burning through it in an afternoon. And it does really. Some of the boss levels are one of them. I think I actually had to look it up on the internet how to solve it because I got stumped. But this was several years ago, back before I got killed in every game I played automatically. But you can pick it up for like $10 for the Xbox if one is so inclined to play a thing game.
That's another interesting idea. I'm sure there are a lot of people who do scary type of gameplay videos because
Well, there's been some Alien games a bit like that. I mean, I've played one or two of them.
Oh, they used to have that first-person shooter that was so much fun. It was like you could be the alien, the predator, or the colonial marine.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I died a lot.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, well, I usually do.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. That's Seinfeld for hello.
Hello.
Hello, the Nerdporeal's here.
Yeah, we did a 3-hour stream for Better Call Saul. The after show for the latest episode.
So
Oh.
don't give it away because I'll watch it tomorrow. But Jesse and Walter are in it.
Yeah, they're in a
Can you
scene.
give that away because they're supposed to be in it? I
Yes.
believe. I mean, I'm not sure in what context they're in it because they mentioned Walter last week.
Mm-hmm.
Saul mentioned him last week,
That's right.
but this week I believe they were meant to be in it. So
Let's just
and
see.
what, we've got like 3 episodes left now, or 2 left after that one.
There's 2 left.
Yeah.
The last 2. The next week's one is called Waterworks, and then the last one is called Saul Gone.
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
See, what I'm wondering is, and again, I might be way off base, is that given that is in the post-Breaking Bad world, when you see him in the present day, or that present day, it's black and white.
2010.
Yeah. Does Kim make a reappearance then?
See, that's the thing that we were discussing because
She's not dead.
No, she's not dead. We find out she's in. Well, let's just say we find out something, and they have a conversation. We don't hear the conversation, and Jimmy is not happy about it. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
But I'm of the opinion that they might not. This is my theory. I'm of the opinion that they will not reunite.
I don't think they'll reunite, but I figured there might be some appearance or mention of her or something which indicates she's okay, or yeah.
I think someone in my chat said that they think that there's going to be we're gonna retrace Kim from episode 9 a couple weeks ago to post Breaking Bad. So it's a 6-year time gap. So
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to be next week because she works. The episode's called Waterworks. She works for a company that makes sprinklers. So,
because Jimmy would want her to be safe. I mean, he wouldn't want to put her in any risk. He's clearly still going to keep hiding. So,
yeah.
Is this the last season?
Yes,
it is. Yeah.
So there's only 2 episodes after the whole show.
Okay, because I stopped like season 3, I think. So I'm like, way far behind.
Season 5 was great. Season 4 was just like a new beginning. So season 3 was like it was the end of the first half of the show because the main antagonist was Jimmy's brother, Chuck.
Yeah, I'm miles behind. I'm still there. I'm on season 3.
But
so I'm not completely alone.
Yeah, but in the second half, we meet the character Lalo, who Saul was afraid of in Breaking Bad. He's like, did Lalo send you? Well, we meet Lalo, and we find out why he's afraid of this guy. And let's just say there was an episode that was very Breaking Bad. It was a roller coaster ride. I was like, where is this going to go?
Yeah.
So.
The quality has been phenomenal. I mean, you would expect in most prequels or sequels that it's going to be crap. Yeah, or not nearly as good as the original. To me, it's been as good as Breaking Bad. I mean, there's been moments that could have fitted in. I mean, that one episode you're talking about for one of them, which I think is the one where Lalo survives the attack. I'm assuming you're.
Guys, sorry, Daniel's got to drop. Just briefly say, Daniel, thank you for coming on and thanks for joining me and talking about the games before. That was awesome.
Yeah. I'm your 10th subscriber, Daniel. Do I get a prize?
Once I have those prizes, yes, once I have them arranged.
I think the deal was that you have to send Daniel a prize rather than the other way around.
Well, I sent him I call every subscriber a sub sandwich. Every time I subscribe to someone, I'm giving them a sub sandwich. Italian, because Italian's the best. Italian sub, provolone.
From an Italian, that means a lot. I know. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, I'll see you guys.
It's great hanging out with you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daniel. Talk soon, yeah? Take it easy.
Yeah, the bit in that, there's bits like when Lalo goes to the guy and his wife's house out in the desert, and you wonder why he's there. He's being
Oh,
really
I know.
nice
You
to
know
them, and they're
exactly
being
why
nice
he's there.
You're thinking, and he's looking at the guy, he's watching the guy shaving, and he's looking at him, and you're thinking,
Yeah.
what's he doing? And
Yeah.
then you find out, of course.
No spoilers, 70s.
Yeah, well, I know,
we're
sorry.
miles behind. Me and Romo like
They
thinking,
never.
Yeah.
I'll just say they never.
By the time
they
I
never,
catch up, I won't remember that, so it'll be okay. I
they
am very
never
old.
They never confirm what happens, but it is heavily implied based on what they show us. They don't tell us; they show us. So that's what I love about Better Call Saul. It shows and not tells.
good
That's
night,
what
Zach,
makes-
if you're still there. Night, man.
But there has been a few shocking deaths towards the end, both the first half of this last season and the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess they had to do it because these people couldn't be around for Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and I mean they had to throw around ideas, and they just had to think of what was best for the character, what made most sense for the character, and that's what the writers went with. And one
I'll
thing
tell
I
you what, guys,
appreciated.
Nerdporeal's been getting some great viewer numbers during these streams. How was it? How was your latest one? You get loads of people watching.
It was up to 50 viewers. It was up to 52,
awesome
54
live, yeah.
viewers. So
Jesus.
And then over time, you get like hundreds, don't you? Hundreds and hundreds.
I had I think the most I had was 98, and that was for the I think it was for the finale, the mid-season finale, episode 7.
Yeah.
Because, well, let's just say a major character kind of kicks the bucket. Won't say who.
And that one shocked the hell. That shocked the hell out of us. Me and my wife watching
Yes.
it, we were shocked.
Mhm.
Didn't see that one coming.
I
What a
did not
shock.
know. I
felt
didn't either.
So bad for that character.
And
after
the
everything
thing
that
is,
happened.
if they didn't do what they did, it would not have happened. That's what makes them even more effed up.
That's
Like,
right.
it's
They
just, yeah,
they did. Jimmy's bad news.
yeah.
Jimmy is bad news. Really
Jimmy and
is.
Kim together. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That's-
yeah. However,
yeah. What was I gonna say? But like, I mean, last week's episode felt very fillerish, and this week kind of felt the same. And we're only 2 episodes late. We're only there's only 2 episodes left, so we're like, we need to move towards a resolution, because that was one of the strengths of Breaking Bad, was it within, it kept moving towards a resolution. We're still waiting for something like that with Better Call Saul.
yeah.
Catch you later,
Yeah.
Zach. Thanks for watching,
Cheers,
man.
Alex. Cheers, buddy.
Guys,
Yeah,
I can't believe you guys. Is it not really late where you all are, or is it depending on which
That's 1 a.m.
side you
It's
are?
1 a.m.
1 a.m.
11 p.m. for me. Just coming up for 11
Yeah,
p.m.
same for me.
Pacific.
Okay.
Started.
Are
Yeah,
you
we-
Pacific?
I'm Pacific.
Yeah, I'm PST. Yeah.
Central.
Pacific. We're both-
Central Nerdporeal. I always thought you were Eastern Nerdporeal. I got mixed up, so I thought, it's like 3 a.m. for you now. No, 2 a.m.
Eastern. Do I sound like, let's get started? Do I sound like I'm in Austin?
Habit. Bit of the habit.
New York.
Get off my
I'm
fucking
habit.
patch. Get off my fucking patch.
I'm going to. I'm from New York. I'm going to see the leaves.
Amy Adams. Get off my fucking patch.
Don't worry, we're all on meth and crack. Sleep is no issue, says
Well,
says Nosferatu, not Nerdporeal.
This is my weekend.
It depends on which meth. Is it blue sky?
I'm off Monday, Tuesdays. This is my weekend.
Yeah.
My work schedule is Monday, Tuesday is the days off, so this is like Saturday night for me.
I don't have a work schedule.
Oh, I won't again in October. I'll be done. So seasonal, just for a little extra
Are
cash.
you retired, Roman?
I am.
Roman.
Damn right.
Yeah, I
Good for
I did my 30 years for God and country. And
Due
then I
diligence. That's
tried,
fantastic.
Then I tried doing
Thank you, sir.
private sector contractor work. That lasted a year and some months. And I said, no. And
No thanks.
now I do this.
Yeah, I was pretty much retired, and I decided to go back for some seasonal work just for a little extra cash as I'm moving in October. Then I'll be completely done.
Okay.
This will be
Cool.
it. Yeah.
No, that's not.
I'm done.
And I considered going back and doing some stuff now and again. I probably should have gone back to pay my new laptop, which is coming, to help get rid of
yeah.
all of my
Nice.
all of my issues. At least it better or Mrs. of the Empire is going to leave me, and that's not good. So so for little things like that, I'm thinking about maybe this and that, but not anything real ever again. That was the 30 years was quite enough, and it made going back to a after that was freaking dreadful, and I'm not for it.
I'm with you, Roman. I just even going back for this summer, I was like, Did I need this shit? No, I don't need
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Do I need
some
this
stuff,
shit?
but, fuck this shit.
Me and Nerdporeal, we ain't got any choice. Have we, Nerdporeal? We still got to work.
You need to find a rich woman to live off. That's what you need.
I was a young man once.
I always point the wrong direction on screen.
Me too. I was like,
right.
Hi.
Nosferatu is still saying some very kind. I mean, most people would say it was offensive, not cool. But
Nerdporeal, are you doing this?
My adult
full-time?
children wouldn't believe I was cool, but that's. I guess that's normal.
Tell me about it.
I've been dying to know, like, you don't have to tell me the truth, but what kind of job Nerdporeal does. I reckon he's working for the CIA or something. You know, he's a computer hacker, or he's in tech or something like that.
Well, I'll say that right now I'm in between. I've been just kind of taking a break from work life in general. So
nice.
So that's why I'm able to stay up late and stuff. But
Cool.
My goal is to go back to work before the end of the year. So yeah. So this year just been going by quick. So
I believe he was the costume guy in a strip club, weren't you, Nerdporeal? You were the costume guy in a strip club. The dresser in the strip club.
He should be writing for Star Trek, one of those series, because the current crop of writers can't seem to remember how to write anymore.
There are writers on that show now.
Well, they have Robert Meyer Burnett's been talking about it. Picard season 3 is going to be run by Terry Matalas, who has been he wrote 2 episodes of Enterprise. He wrote the one with the Vulcan zombies, and he wrote the one where they have to play a game where they have to deceive one of the Xindi scientists, Dagra. And that's it. This episode where they pretend like Archer pretends he's they've been captive and they've been held on this planet for like years. And so it's all they just made up that fiction to find out where the Xindi weapon was. That was actually a really good episode. I did like the Vulcan zombie one too. So,
we'll have to see, won't we? He's been bigging it up, as you say, Nerdporeal. Rob Meyer. He's been really bigging up season 3 of Picard. Yeah, but I can't see how they can change it from what it's been.
Is Kurtzman still in charge?
Well, Kurtzman is still the executive producer, but it's like every season is divorced of the other. Like Discoveries are divorced to the other. They never follow up on anything that they establish. It's just like, it ends off here. Well, let's just begin it there and forget about everything that was set up in the earlier seasons. That's how they do stuff. That's why that's why continuity is just not a thing with that. And I think Picard season 3 is going to be more of the same. It's not going to follow up season 2 or season 1. So, but season 2 they got rid of half the characters those new characters that nobody that they just did such a bad job.
Anyway. Yeah. Did anybody notice?
So that Rios dude stays on Earth in the 21st century for reasons. That Girardi, the scientist, Agnes, she fucks off with the Borg because she's the Borg queen, and I don't know. She murdered a dude in season 1, and she got away with it. So
yeah, I remember that. I actually watched season 1.
Are there Irish Romulans in it in season 3? I wonder.
Yeah, those cheeky fuckers.
Diddly potatoes.
Yeah,
potatoes and genocide.
Coming down to a Romulus, and give me your Lucky Charms.
Give me your Lucky Charms. One of my planets being incinerated. Where's my shillelagh?
Yeah, although, guys, controversial opinion. I did watch the first episode of Strange New Worlds, and I didn't think it was that bad. Controversial.
I didn't hate it either.
It was.
I had 2 issues with it. First female helmsman was a diverse female helmsman. She's everything I thought to be. And Nurse Chapel's, well, actually, I guess 3 problems. Nurse Chapel's skill set was well beyond what it should have been. And
like, look at me with all my shots. Look at me, ha 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 ha.
Exactly.
That's Nurse Chapel.
The technology used in the show was in no way compared to the tech that was back in the original series. It was light years beyond that, which makes it unrelatable as a show. But I like Christopher Pike. I enjoyed him as a character. I thought the Spock stuff wasn't bad.
Anson Mount's good.
Keep watching that season.
Is a good actor.
Oh, I didn't go pinning the mic because I talk with my hands because I'm crazy. But I didn't get past episode 1 because that was free and I don't have the streaming service. So,
is it worth it? Is it worth continuing, Nerdporeal?
Strange New Worlds? Well, it depends on what you're interested in. If you're interested in something that just calls itself Star Trek for the sake of Star Trek, it takes place in a different universe than TOS and the rest of the shows, sure. Me, I'm not interested in that. I am not interested in retcons or reboots or alternate universes of TOS because if you watch the finale, they basically copied Balance of Terror. Now, I'm going to say this. Enterprise, Enterprise tried to maintain this continuity where they don't see the Romulans at all in the 22nd century. So the first time they they know who the Romulans are, that they look like Vulcans, was in Balance of Terror.
Yes.
And nothing. They had no visual contact prior to that. Well, this episode, which is supposed to take place before TOS, they have visual contact. It's a very similar episode. Spock sees them. The whole crew sees them. Everybody sees them, and then we even meet.
They've already thrown continuity to the one because Spock didn't see them because it was a surprise to him in Balance of Terror. Mr. Styles, of course, was dumbfounded and turned on Spock. Well, that's just crap.
The fact that
I'm glad I didn't waste any more time, Nerdporeal. Thank you.
Thanks. You saved me some time there.
Well, the fact that Enterprise, which got so much shit, just like the prequels, and I'll be honest, I watched Voyager and I was disappointed that they were doing a prequel to Enterprise. And I had my issues with Enterprise because like they made the Klingons look normal. Like the Klingons during TOS were, they had the mustaches, they didn't have the ridges. So I was hoping they'd follow that, but they did address it though, to give them in season 4, they did address it in a 2-parter. So, but I mean, like even Enterprise, which gets the most shit, adhered to that much canon. So I mean, I don't really care about like the teeny tiny details, but the Romulan thing from Balance of Terror is a big deal.
Yeah.
So this was a retcon, and I stopped after episode 5. And then you know what they did with the Gorns? They made the Gorns aliens, like aliens from Alien. Like they burst out of people's chests. That's how they reproduce. That's their life cycle. They copied Alien. Spock is getting
all hell.
Yeah, and then Spock is getting over emotional and banging the corridor walls because So he's almost always emotionally compromised at least once per episode. Whereas Nimoy was always
once per season. It used to be.
Nimoy was subtle. Like there was one episode where he was so pissed. The only thing he did was he took a vase and smashed it, and that was it. And that meant something. This was in TOS. It was Plato Stepchild in the same episode where Uhura and Kirk, rest in peace, and Shawn Nichols, they kiss, forced to kiss by evil Greeks, evil telekinetic Greek Jedi people.
That was the get out of jail free clause there. Yes.
So,
Okay, so
lucky Shatner.
Crap.
I've never played Dino Crisis, by the way. But I can't wait for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Isn't he an old lounge singer? Dino Crisis?
Dino Crisis, yeah, I think so.
It's a shame I've never played that game.
We were talking about it before, Nerdporeal, earlier on, and brought up some of the graphics. It's Resident Evil, but with dinosaurs instead of zombies.
I want to play. There's a game that I did play when it was in the store. It was called Turok Dinosaur Hunter on the Nintendo 64.
Yes, I had that back in the day when I was young.
That looked pretty cool.
It wasn't bad.
But by the way, I finished my Ocarina of Time, writing my Ocarina of Time retrospective. Now I'm recording it. It's 40 pages. So it's going to be up to 3 hours. So I'm dividing into 3 parts. Courage, power, and wisdom. Triforce, get
it? That is awesome, man. I look forward to that.
Oh, this is going to take me time. This is I'm making this like an epic film. There's going to be freaking intermissions when I put all 3 parts together. It's going to be
cool.
Yeah.
Turok does rule, Nosferatu, you're right. It wasn't bad, it was pretty good. A little bit too much fogging in the game, but the N64 had a big problem with fogging, so yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to have to wrap up in about 5 minutes because Mrs. Wakizashi is due back. She's coming soon.
Great. What's that Elton John song? The bitch is back. No, sorry.
Bitch is back.
Just kidding, Mrs. Gray.
So let's go around the horn for anyone who's still watching. Let us know what you're doing in the coming week. And, I mean, people know where they can find you. I'll drop links afterwards, by the way, in the description.
You said link.
Link. Ocarina. 70s Rock Fan, please let people know where they can find you and what have you got coming up.
Well, the channel is that 70s Rock Fan, as it says there. Doing quite well. I'm up to about 526
I'll get links
subscribers.
Nice.
Which is getting there. I just dropped a video yesterday about one of my favorite actors, David Warner, and his sad loss. And I will be on Toxic Tuesday on 32 Flavors of Nick Visor's channel tomorrow night. And we're doing Naked Gun is the movie we're covering tomorrow.
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
That will be fun. That's right. Yes. Nice beaver. Yes. And
Just said it stopped.
Wasn't that movie that he's in the shower, or was that one of the sequels where he's in the shower and he's wearing like a lock around his
I can't remember if it's that Naked Gun or is
private.
Yeah, it could be, but I don't recall, but I'll find out before tomorrow. So that'll be a good laugh. It's always a good show on Nick's channel. And then planning my next live stream for next Monday afternoon, which will be another Metal Mayhem special with lots of metal music and lots of great panelists and possibly even a very famous special guest that I can't mention in case I jinx it. But one of the big boys might be coming in, so we'll see.
Oh, awesome.
But that'll be fun. Yeah. So
Sounds
thanks.
good.
Thanks for having me on, Gray. Really appreciate it, mate.
Yeah, it was good we could actually link up for once because I'm off today, off work. What day is it? Tuesday here. So yeah, great that you joined us. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Next we have Roman of the Empire.
So I'm on like 12 days a week now. So tomorrow I'm not on. Tomorrow's like my eyeball. So Wednesday I'm on with PJ Maybe and the UK crew at noon for it's a movie review week and we're doing Predator. Thursday is my 5 p.m. PST standard weekly show. Doing this week, it's top 5 movies for each decade for the last 5 decades or 5 decades, 50 years, whatever. It's about just slightly younger than me. Saturday on with PJ Maybe again at noon for the UK crew for Let's Talk Geeky, which is just classic TV and nerd stuff. And now we're doing a Monday show on the Creative Blue Collar Guys channel at 4 PST. And next week we're reviewing Memento. We're doing a deep dive into Memento. So
you see, you have to do that stream backwards. You got to do that stream backwards.
I that's
agree.
probably where we'll end up.
Yeah, we had to watch Memento. Yeah, we had to watch Memento for film study. That was a very interesting movie.
It was fascinating. I'd never seen it before.
And that's Christopher Nolan, I believe.
It was Nolan, early Nolan. I do love that movie. Roman, could you just show me your T-shirt? What's on your T-shirt?
Misfits.
Oh, the band.
Yeah.
The band, the Misfits. Oh, yeah, cool. Love it. Great band.
No, I'm a big music guy.
Yeah,
my wife got me the double album of Iron Maiden, Somewhere Back in Time, on vinyl for my birthday.
Nice.
So it's packed up. I'm waiting to get it.
Very sweet. No, I love it. I love the Misfits, and then I'm pretty keen on some Danzig stuff beyond that, So
right on.
Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Nice
Thanks
t-shirt.
again for dropping in. Again, it was kind of last minute. I was supposed to be doing a solo live stream gaming stream.
How's that going?
It all went wrong. I've got to upgrade my PC, Roman. A bit like you. I need to get more power, more graphics.
I am man who understands.
So, Nerdporeal, how about you? You just done a Better Call Saul, the latest episode live stream. So, what's coming up for you?
Well, I mean, there's 2 more Better Call Saul episodes, so there's going to be 2 more after shows regarding that. I invited the chat if they want to come on for the finale, because I'm sure everybody's going to have something to say, because this is not only the end of Better Call Saul, but the end of the Breaking Bad Better Call Saul universe, I would say. We don't know of anything else that's going to be coming out, so this could be it. This could be it, folks. So
they could have Walter White resurrected.
We talked about Mike Ehrmantraut resurrecting, and they do the whole Robot Picard thing. where
That
they
would
take
be
they take
funny.
his DNA, where they take his DNA, they find the bucket that they dissolve him in. They take his bucket and they create a new Mike Ehrmantraut with all the memories and everything. He just goes, he's PI.
And also the same
Mike
hangdog
Ehrmantraut, PI.
face.
Yeah,
That would
the
be
same.
cool.
Oh, I was showing clips of Beverly Hills Cop earlier with all the Jonathan Banks,
I
smacking
know.
around and
He's
using
a
the
baddie in that,
shotgun.
one of the baddies. Yeah. It's funny when you see guys like that in films years ago. Like, that's Jonathan Banks.
Beverly Hills Cop was my first R-rated movie, and it was probably my first live-action movie. So seeing
Very
him
cool.
in Breaking Bad, seeing him smack Jesse Pinkman was just like, oh, I got to keep watching this even more now.
It's cool.
Sorry,
I interrupted you there.
No, it's fine. I'm fine. It's funny. I did enjoy that 70s rock fan. I enjoyed the new Let It Be on Disney Plus. I was watching it, and I just couldn't stop watching. I was watching it was pretty. I didn't watch the whole thing yet, but it was. I liked seeing them going through their creative process, especially the fact that they had to come up with an album and perform it the whole time. Yeah.
And I liked the fact that you saw John and Paul standing face to face working on songs. Like they used to all through their time since the 50s when they were kids. That's how they worked. I've got an idea. Okay, we'll play it. A bit of this. Okay, well, why have you tried this? And they would just stand face to face like that. Yeah. That was really nice. It was nice to see that. Even in those times when they were falling apart, to still have that connection.
And George did not want to be. There.
Fuck this shit, yeah. Fuck this.
And Ringo
it's funny every time they say, "Well, we should play a gig here or there," you'd go, "I'm not doing that."
Well, he had a lot of songs, didn't he? And they were kind of saying, "No, not sure. No, I'm not going to use him." And he brought them out on his was it All Things Must Pass album?
A double album,
yeah.
Or was it a triple? I can never remember. It's so long.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have to wrap it up, I'm afraid. I'd love this to keep going because this has been so much fun. Thank you for joining me, 70s rock fan, Roman of the Empire, Daniel before. Thanks, Daniel. And, of course, the one and only Better Call Admiral, the Nerdporeal's Lifeform.
Orville finale is Wednesday, so I'm going to be doing the same thing. We're going to be bringing in people, whoever wants to stay up late and watch watch the after show.
That sounds good, man.
Which is going to be this time. This starts at this time it's going to start roughly. It's going to be going on like this time. So there you go.
What day is that? American. It's
so it would be. It drops Wednesday, 11 p.m. Central. So usually the show will be midnight, 12:30.
Okay.
Central. So
I don't get it right away, unfortunately. I get it a little bit later.
So I'm being abused by someone even balder than me in the chat, and someone that
where is he?
Someone that just because his team win the Stanley Cup doesn't make them good, Just they take our cast-off players and do something with them.
He loves it. He'd kill me for telling you guys that he's a sweetheart, really. That's right, behind the scenes. But no. He loves getting the comments going in the chat, and great sense of humor, completely crazy as well. Like Klaus Kinski, just like his avatar.
Yeah, I mentioned him. I actually mentioned Nosferatu in my last stream.
Oh, did you? You took it? Nosferatu, you've been mentioned. He'll be getting paranoid now. Oh my God! What?
Oh, Whoopa's just here now.
Oh, Whoopa!
People are coming in. We can't finish.
People are coming in. What do we have to say with people coming in? So late. I'm sorry. We're just about to finish the stream. Okay, thanks so much, guys. I'll drop the closer, but if you want to hang around for a quick chat, you don't have to disappear straight away. Stay in the studio. Okay. Wakizashi's Teahouse. Please subscribe.